Well, I'll start with this.
Like, what's the future for Black Studies?
I think it's part of a bigger story.
The story of Black Studies has been the story of its evolution.
What does that look like?
So our university could reorganize the way it has requirements for student graduation so that students can be exposed to Black Studies curriculum. For now, we're very understaffed, so we can't do everything.
Because of the small population of Black people, we're not fighting for control of our schools. We're fighting for access, just to be able to be there, right? I knew somebody who lived in Portland, invited us over to dinner. I went over to their house, and one of the first questions he asks me was, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm teaching in the Black Studies department. What do you teach? And I said, well, racism. And he goes, oh, we don't have that problem here.
So Black Studies has kind of pulled the curtain back on this false narrative of American history.
I think it scares them when there is a group of individuals that care about their culture, care about their identity, and want to learn more about their people.
And it's asking the country and asking individuals to look at what our history has actually been and then make decisions about that, personal decisions.
I had a student, a Latinx student, who made the most fabulous poster of Marcus Garvey, and it said "Up, you mighty race." This young man is getting inspired by the activism of Marcus Garvey.
And that's why I feel like it's so important, and why I make sure to try to take these classes when I can, when they fit into my schedule.
I think just having a Black Studies department on campus, regardless of whether they take the classes, they know that their story is important. Like, that's just like a starting point for student success.
And that's where I met Dr. Johnson, and he was telling me about the experiences that he's been having with the Black Studies department, being here for so many years. And I just know for a fact if I didn't go to that meeting and I didn't meet him, I wouldn't have that resource.
Being around these professors has just heightened the quality of my life. It's improved it.
I also think about Dr. Milner, and so many people have learned about Blacks in Oregon through his work.
Black Studies provides, it's not just kind of an understanding of those prior events, but an understanding of the responsibilities that the young generation has because of the sacrifices and because of the victories that were won in generations before them. They have to understand that as a Black person in this country, in this state, in this city, it's not just about you. It's about a larger story than just your own personal development or your own personal success.
A graduate from our program goes on and becomes a teacher, an educator in Portland. That is the work. I think of a person like Walida, who is a brilliant Black Studies cultural scholar, and who came up through this program and is exploding minds around the world. That is the work.
I think if I knew that there were people who would be willing to work with me and work with other people on what would be necessary for Black students to feel like they could succeed in that program, I would take the time and energy out to do it. Whether that be being in hired positions where you need people to go out and tell people about a resource, or whether it be like getting grant funds, you hire someone for grant funds, or just any other way that you can use people's resources and assets to really contribute to the program. I think that's something I'd be willing to do if the resource was there.
So what's a priority?
If you don't have an anti-racist plan, you plan to be racist. And so if Portland State is really serious about being inclusive and making sure Black students feel comfortable here, they will make sure that Black students have the resources they need to be successful.
Yeah, well, as an underfunded department, we haven't been able to offer all of the lines, so we can't always offer all the classes that we want to offer.
I think at Portland State we are in a very difficult moment where we have to figure it out. Like, what do we need to do? What do we need to commit to so that Black Studies that Black Studies exists 20 years from now? What's the vision?
The next 50 years are going to be a challenge, and for Black Studies to survive, really for Black people to survive, they're going to have to be up to the challenge, and they're going to have to understand that although strategies from the past have been successful in getting us to the point where we are, they're not going to be sufficient to guarantee that we'll be able to continue to be here and move forward into the future. So we have to be creative.
Start from the beginning. Go back to the middle schoolers. Go back to the elementary students. Tell them the importance of unity and express the importance of self-development, self-love, and unity, and working together.
If we're not marketing in that way, then the knowledge that we have at PSU is not serving the city.
I feel like the Black Studies department is really a way for people to understand that more deeply, to study that history deeper, to really study the things that people have done in the past that we can take and use again and even make better.
That is the gift of Black Studies. And where it will take you, I don't know. I'm excited.
And that's what the Black Studies classes have really been for me. And I really appreciate them.